Hello everyone, my name is Mark Lee. Today I have the honor to have my friend Kash Patutin. It's the CEO of the Emblem Developments, and also my friend Jenny Bowie, Senior Vice President of Melbourne Group. And we are talking about exciting project Artform Condos coming soon to the Mississauga. Kash, how do you think about when you made the decision try developing this project? What is the main reason for you? What do you think about this?
Yeah, Mark, when you look at our background in terms of managing investments for wealthy families for the last 20 years, we've gained a lot of experience and expertise in identifying opportunity, right? And the important part with any development is striking the right timing, because if you're too early to a community, you're speculating and hoping the area gets built up around you.
Yes.
And if you're too late and you're investing in a very well-established neighborhood, then you won't have the same appreciation potential because that's already happened. So for us, when we were looking at the landscape and the geographies, it's no secret that Toronto has had significant population growth and as a result significant housing price appreciation. When we look at Mississauga, especially Cooksville, it started to have that appreciation, but it's much earlier in the cycle. So we feel that this is very much ground level and that you're getting in at a time where there's lots of upside in terms of where we're at the stage. So we really like Mississauga, but most importantly, Cooksville in particular, in terms of what stage it is at compared to the broader Toronto housing market. And with any site, there are sort of a handful of factors that determine how quickly one's investment can appreciate, how well the project will go up over time. And what we feel is very opportunistic about Artform is that it has all of those factors present, and that's very rare. Sometimes you get one or two. Artform truly has all of those factors present. The building is a few hundred meters away from the Cooksville mobility hub. So you have major public transit hub. We're not talking about a regular bus station. We're talking about an area where the government and the city are investing over $100 million in infrastructure. And from that transit hub, you will be able to access the major forms of public transportation, LRT, BRT, and the GO train. Quick ride at Kipling, you can take the subway as well. So to be able to access all of those forms of transportation within a few hundred meters is very exciting. The second part is that this building is right in the middle of a master planned community. And so again, history has shown us that the projects that are a part of master planned communities tend to do very well in terms of price appreciation, especially when you're one of the first buildings. Because every building that's built after it, the prices are coming higher and higher and higher. And so Artform will be the first release in that master planned community. And so again, from an investment perspective, the timing is very good. The other part is the fact that Square One is so close. You're talking about a few stops away or a few minute drive if you're driving away from Square One. And with the amount of development that's taking place there, it's no question that Square One will be the shopping, entertainment district of all of Mississauga. For us, when we look at any site, we really like the communities that are not right downtown, but very close to it. Because the numbers tell us that the areas that are close to downtown, but not right downtown, tend to actually sell for higher prices than if you're right downtown. And I think that happens because buyers want to be close to the action. They want to be able to access those amenities very easily, But they also want to know that when they want to relax and rejuvenate, they can turn it off and relax. And so Cooksville gives you exactly that same relationship. You're very close to square one, which is where all of the action is, but you're not right there, so you can turn it off when you want that downtime. The fourth factor, which is really important here, is education, schooling. So you're a short commute away from University of Toronto's Mississauga campus and a short commute away from Sheridan College. So as I said earlier, generally, as long as you have one or two of these factors present, history shows us that those buildings tend to do very well as investments. We're excited about the fact that all of those factors are present with this building, and that's one of the main drivers that led us to making the investment that we did in Cooksville, because as you know, we're not doing just one building. We're going to release 2 buildings in our first phase and have other developments right in that area that we're working on. And that's a testament to how much we believe in it, given that we're investing our own capital here.
Yeah, 100%. So you actually talking a lot of things that make me want to buy one. Actually, Mississauga, I truly believe in Mississauga is going to be born in the next 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Right, so I know the Huron, Ontario, and Dundas, as you said, this is a totally redevelopment, and we have LRT, we have all the transit. Based on my experience, I sold it to all my investment clients as few factors, just one or two, they make it very successful for their
That's
returns, right?
That's right.
So Jenny, I know you've been know a lot of these buildings. We want to know, can you give us an introduction about this building, like how high, how many units?
Yeah, the building is 17-story high with 336 units. And the suite mix starts from the 1-bedroom plus den. It's going to be priced in the upper $400,000. We have 1-bedroom plus 2 bathroom, and 1-bedroom plus den, 2 bathroom. And we have 2-bedroom, 2 bath, and then 2-bedroom plus den, 2 bath. And all of the den, we design it with a purchaser in mind, so then it can be flexible, that you can use it as a 2nd bedroom because it's big enough to be used that way. And then it has a sliding door.
That's
so it's
right,
already
yeah.
pre-done for you, so you don't have to go through that.
That's good.
And then touch the deposit structure as well, so that way
Yeah.
will be 5% per year.
Mhm.
It'll be 5% in 2020, 5 in 21, another 5 in 22, and then occupancy will be another 5% at spring 2024.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a really good deposits, right?
Yeah.
We haven't heard that for a long time, so you guys really bring strong. So it shows also for the investor you have a strong financial background that you can do this kind of deposit structures, because it's not happen. Most of condo we sell is 20% deposits,
Yeah.
right? And it's maximum 450 days, 500 days, so 5% per year. That's a big selling point.
Emblem being backed by a well-established business that's been around for over 20 years gives Emblem the financial backing that very few developers have. And that affords us a lot of flexibility in how we structure our buildings. And so we were actually going to do something that's almost unheard of in the Toronto development space, which is skip sales and go right to construction and look to launch sales later whenever the market came back. And that speaks to the financial strength and depth that Emblem has. We, in fact, can build this building without any financing. So that's important because
Very important.
buyers, as they've unfortunately experienced sometimes in the past, you can get the right unit and buy it at a really great price, but if the building doesn't get built, it wasn't worth anything. So given the fact that we could build this building without any financing, given the fact that our financial strength and depth is able to put forth such a flexible deposit structure, speaks to I believe one of the most important considerations with any developer, which is how well capitalized they are.
That's for sure. Give to some people may don't know. Usually for the Toronto pre-construction condos, we should sell first. Then the developer will, get capital, then starting the building constructions. So for Emblem, as Cash said, they're starting the construction without the selling. So they're starting construction September, right?
Yeah, a little later, late fall. It'll be in the late fall, that we'll be starting. And now obviously we're going to sales because we've seen how strong the Toronto real estate market is. I mean, it's actually amazing to see that prices, not only have they not gone down, but new pre-construction prices have actually gone up from where they were pre-COVID. So again, that's great. That's why we're launching sales. But if that had not been the case, we would be going to construction anyways in the late fall. But the strength we've seen in the Toronto housing market and pre-construction, again, speaks to how meaningful of an investment real estate is, that given what's going on, the housing market has still remained very resilient, very strong through all of this uncertainty.
Talking about it, you have a lot of amenities, like 17,500 square footage of amenities. So usually we see the boutique condo, like 17 stories, don't have that much amenities. So
No.
what do you think about it? You put a lot of amenities there, it's cost you a lot of money for sure.
Absolutely.
Right? And what kind of finish you're going to be providing to the buyers?
Yeah. So what's very important to us at Emblem with any project that we do, Mark, is that we set a standard, and that standard to us is well above what we see as being normal. At Emblem, we are obsessed with design. We feel, in fact, there's no substitute to exceptional design. When you look at the building from the outside, what's interesting is, well, first of all, we don't use stucco, right? Stucco is a lower cost material that's often used on the exterior of buildings. What you see with Artform is high quality materials that are generally only found on buildings with much higher price points, right? And I'm talking about brick and stone and glass. You know, when you look at the building and you look at the size of the windows, they're quite large in scale, letting in lots of natural daylight. We know how important it is for condominium owners to be able to step outside, get some fresh air. We're proud to say that every single unit in Artform will have a private terrace or a private balcony.
That's very important.
It's very important. So there's a lot of consideration in terms of the design, starting right from the outside of the building. When you go inside the building and you start to look at some of the amenities, Mark, that same obsession with design is present throughout. So with the amenity space that you talked about, with 17,500 square feet of amenities, you're sharing that in a 17-story building, right? You're not sharing these amenities with 30 stories, 35 stories, 40 stories. And what that means is you're able to enjoy them more. You're able to use them more as a homeowner. Again, these are very important considerations if you're buying it to use the home or you're buying it to invest, because once the building is done, these are the factors that are going to determine the value of your unit compared to a unit in another building. So we spend a lot of time on that. On the amenities, we have not one, but 2 outdoor spaces. And what's interesting is, because we're close to a creek, we really took advantage of creating a backyard feel. When you go outside, imagine lots of green, tree-lined perimeter, and then you hear the water in the creek on the side. Again, it gives you very much a backyard of a home feel, which is rare in condominium living. With the amenities inside the building, and even outside, we spent a lot of time thinking about what do homeowners actually use. Because there's a lot of amenities that look beautiful in the renderings, but you know, if you're the homeowner, you're paying for those in your condo fees. And if you're not using them, you know, that's not a very good outcome. So we intentionally chose to not have a swimming pool at this project because swimming pools are very expensive to maintain.
Very expensive.
And the data shows us that people do not really use them. So what did we do instead? Well, instead, a building like this, again, very uncommon to have a 24-hour concierge, because the data shows that today people really appreciate security and convenience. So having a 24-hour concierge security provides the boutique building with that sort of convenience and security that often is not common. In the amenity spaces, we also focused on co-working spaces.
That's
and you know, especially now, I mean, we obviously designed this pre-COVID, and COVID will at some point pass and we'll get back to more of a normal life, but what will not change is more and more people are going to work from home. And if you're in a condominium, it's very valuable to have the developer spend a lot of time on the co-working spaces. And what we did here that's interesting is we have more than one co-working space. And what we did is we spent a lot of time on the psychology of colors. What I mean by that is we designed the co-working spaces to evoke different types of feelings, emotions, creativity. Because what we didn't want you to do as a homeowner is to use one co-working space on a Saturday and go use your other co-working space on a Sunday and feel like you're in the same place, but the furniture was moved around. Right? So our intention behind that exceptional design extends to even the amenities in the co-working space to create a feeling of distinction when you're in one space compared to the other, again, to enhance the end user's experience. In the social areas of the co-working space, we have a beautiful bar, we have a beautiful dining room, so if you're hosting friends and family, you have the space to do that. Again, we focused on functionality. Many of the spaces that we have and the amenities we have are designed to be benefits that one cannot achieve in their unit, right? So large dining rooms with the bars, we have a screening room, and everything is finished at the high standard that Emblem operates at on all of our projects. So the same commitment to quality that we spoke about in the exterior of the building, Mark, is carried through the entire building. Whether you buy the smallest unit at Artform or you buy the largest unit, the standard finish that we deliver is the same right across the board, okay? And so, to us, the greatest achievement a developer can accomplish is when the homeowner walks into the building, walks into their unit, and has that feeling that it just feels right. You know from being experienced in real estate, there's spaces you walk into and it just feels right. You know, right away you know, and sometimes we don't know exactly why it feels right, but that feeling is very powerful. And to us, there's nothing that a developer can achieve that's more important than that. Because at the end of the day, this is home. This is where we're living. With this project, we engaged U31 as the interior designer.
Very well known. We're working them a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely. And they've done many of the most notable buildings downtown Toronto. And although we believe we're using among the best interior designers in the industry, it was no substitute for us to still be very hands-on. And that's where our passion at Emblem for design comes in. So, for example, when you walk into any of the suites and you look at the kitchen, right away, you know, whether you like to cook or not, a beautiful kitchen is something that's appreciated by everybody and also really helps determine the investment return. The kitchens are all European-styled kitchens, very sleek and clean lines and aesthetic finish. When you walk into most condominiums and you look at the backsplash, for example, it's tile, right? And you see the grout lines, and that's the standard, and they can look great. But what looks better is when you use full slab. So every kitchen in the Artform building will have full slab backsplash.
Wow. Is that standard?
Standard.
Wow, that's very, very good.
That same slab as your backsplash carries to your countertop. So again, when we talked about that feeling of, wow, it feels right. I don't know why it feels right. Well, it's thought and investment from the developer in that type of input that creates those feelings. So you have full slab backsplash leading to the full slab countertop. The same stone is used from both to create a very clean aesthetic, LED lighting to create a modern, clean aesthetic, but still have it feel very warm. You walk into the bathrooms, for example, and you look at it and it just feels more airy than a regular bathroom. Why is that? Well, there's been a lot of thought in how we can lighten visually the aesthetic within the bathroom. So the glass that separates the shower from the bathroom basically visually looks like it's floating because we're using a frameless metal channel. Traditionally, the glass sits in metal framing, and the challenge with the metal frame is that it creates separation visually from the glass to the wall. So it disrupts the line of sight. When you remove that metal channel, be it it's expensive, which we've done in all of the units. When you remove that and reinforce the glass so it's just glass, it creates a complete line of sight without that disruption. Again, to achieve that feeling of, wow, it feels right, I don't know why it feels right. So you can see as we talk about the various spaces within the Artform building that the Emblem brand truly is obsessed with exceptional design. And when you're thinking about buying a unit, whether it's to live in it or it's as an investment, the commitment from us at Emblem to be obsessed with design will be something that will be enjoyed for the homeowner, and it'll certainly be enjoyed for the investor, because that's how we create distinction with a building like this compared to everything else that's around you.
You know, it's just for developer like you to have a lot of thought for this building, like truly like you building your own homes. That's not so often to hear. And all the finish, all the things you put on, for a lot of developers, that's upgrade option. You put at the standard, so it's upscales. This building truly will be increased values in the future. That's I can tell right away. Right?
Whatever facet you look at this building, whatever angle you look at this project, it's AAA. Whether it's the location, whether it's the quality of finishes, whether it's the size of the building, whether what's going to be developed around it, whether it's when am I getting in, right? I mean, you're buying this at the ground level. As future buildings come out, the price keeps going up. I mean, we have Artform 2 that will be released shortly after Artform 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you the prices of Artform 2 are not going to be the same as the prices of Artform 1.
That's for sure.
So the beauty of a master plan community is as each building comes out, the prices go higher and higher. So for buyers in Artform 1, they will benefit and enjoy being in very early.
Early stage, always buying early. It's always good.
Yeah.
And for my experience, for the resale perspective,
Yeah.
I see like a master plan community, the resale value is like 20% higher than the standalone buildings.
Yeah.
So that's for sure.
It's very important. Very important. So we talked about how opportunistic the location is. We talked about the quality and the design of the building. Now, all of that, it doesn't mean a high price point. So the introductory price is going to be very attractive, very competitive. And then that leads to the deposit structure, which is very flexible as well. So whether you're looking at the deposit structure, the pricing, the finishes, or the location, they're all very compelling. And all of that is coming from a developer that's very well capitalized, right? So again, very important when you're investing in any building to make sure that the developer is capitalized because of flexible deposit structures, because making sure the building is going to get built. As I mentioned to you, we were going to go to construction and skip the sales if COVID had prolonged. So these are all very important considerations, and all of them are together as one package with Artform.
I'm excited, Jenny, you need to tell me when you're going to be launching the projects and what's how do the buyers can get access for that?
Well, we're going to release the price list and floor plan on Tuesday, the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have that, and of course, the buyer should call you because you are one of our platinum broker, and they will have access to platinum pricing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So usually we know planning pricing is always cheaper when they have a unit available in the grand opening. They'll be definitely much cheaper. So it's going to be truly good opportunities to buy in the planning stage.
Yeah, and the beautiful part about this is that notwithstanding or compromising all the quality of the finishes, as well interior and exterior, 80% of our unit is priced under $600,000. We're going to be done in 2024 in the spring, and that's right in line with the LRT being done in
That's
2024
right.
as well.
People are going to be enjoying the benefit for the transportations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for investors, they'll be able to even sell their unit at the time of completion, and they'll have all of that infrastructure in place. So it becomes a very attractive package at that time. So it's like any investment. It's about being there before everyone else sees what it becomes, and that's where the appreciation takes place, and that's the opportunity that's present today with Artform.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're talking, I like the deposit for sure, 5% per year. I know the price point is really amazing. Over 80% of the units is below $600,000. I know we have a top to land finish, all the amenities that can be providing. Everyone have balcony, that's very important. So this building is going to be truly make a difference, and it will be sell really fast. So everyone, if you interested about to learn more, just call me and I will be help you to get a unit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.